Good evening, everybody. Welcome to PSGL Gran Turismo action tonight from Deep Forest Raceway. We're on number 6 here in GT League Season 2, the Group 4 World Tour here in Tier 2. As it says in the pin message, there will not be any Tier 1 action tonight. This is due to low attendance there, so they will be racing next week when they were originally planning to have a break week. Last time out here, though, in Tier 2 at Austria, there was something brand new that happened. Something that we have not seen before in this tier so far this season. And that was Solid Ninja Snake did not win the race. For the first time this season, he failed to win. And it was LJM Stevo who took the victory then in the Jaguar. Brilliant performance from himself there to get that victory. In fact, yeah, like I said, absolutely superb basically. From, well, sorry, no, the first time ever this season, I mean, a couple of weeks ago, I apologise, we saw obviously Yavi take the victory. So last time was the first time out we didn't see a Renault win the victory, and also the first time out we didn't see Solid Ninja Snake really put in a, didn't really put in a fantastic performance, only finishing in 4th. Yavi got 2nd place, and it was a first podium of the season for Mick Mark. So this is what that has done to the championship standings. If we get them up on the screen for you now, you can see how things are going at the moment, looking very well indeed for Solid Ninja Snake at the top of the standings. A healthy lead indeed. 17 points with those 3 victories basically means no matter what happens tonight, he will be on top of the championship. And you can see it is Stevo in 2nd place, Yavi in 3rd, Brownski, Mick Rock rounding out that top 5 so far this season. And tonight, as we said, we are going to be racing at Deep Forest Raceway, a track which has changed slightly from what we had on the last game. Things, well, from the last time we saw it, Gran Turismo 6, of course, back on the PlayStation 3, was the last time we saw this track. Things have changed quite a bit, most dramatically, turn number 10 and turn number 13 on your map there. Much sharper turn number 10, and obviously the extension in towards 13 means you do miss those 2 fast left-handers that this circuit was known for. A much more flowing final part of the lap and a much bigger final overtaking zone as well possible in towards turn number 13. But enough about what could happen. Let's have a look what is happening right now as the drivers are making their way out onto the circuit. They are out there now for the for this qualifying session. 8 minutes of qualifying and then the race will be on the way. And it is currently, it's not Stevo leading the queue, it is currently, as we flick through every single car, it is currently Brownski that is leading the queue. He's going to be the first car to take us around this circuit. Quite a bit longer, as we said, from what it used to be. And his performances, Brownski, have certainly helped Renault out in the Constructors' Championship. 128 points at the moment for the Renault team. Jaguar are in 2nd on 52 points. Mercedes have 36. Ferrari, Porsche, Nissan, Toyota, BMW, those with points. McLaren and Dodge still yet to score any points whatsoever. But let's go on board then with Brownski as he takes us on a lap of this Deep Forest Raceway circuit. Has made itself on every single main series game so far. Braking hard downhill towards turn number 1. Very easy to get it wrong here. Stick to the inside, stay on where the tarmac is that constant light grey colour. You then start climbing up the hill through this fast S section, part of the first section of the lap. Make sure you stay over towards the left hand side of the track for the entry to this double right-hander as you flick your way through the tunnel. 25.882 first sector time for the Renault of Brownski. Making his way around the long right-hander now. Again, little quick left-handers, S section. And this is where you really start seeing the changes to this circuit. A much tighter turn number 10. Very easy to get it wrong. Not a lot of runoff area here. So if you go too deep, you will find yourself heading towards the wall through the long tunnel here. And this is where we'll see plenty of slipstreaming, possibly during qualifying, probably during the race as well. The cars blast their way down this straight, reaching their top speed to about 135 mile per hour then for Brownski. He brakes hard towards the hairpin at turn number 13. Down in towards 2nd gear, trail braking on the way in. Make sure you get a good exit, because that is going to be so important, because it is now flat out all the way past that pit lane entry on the left-hand side. Drivers are going to be allowed to cut that as much as they want up the hill through the final corner and then towards the finish line, and we'll see what kind of performance it is going to be then from Brownski as he heads towards the line. 1:33.835 time that he has set in that car. A reminder of the rules for this race. It is going to be a dry race, that can be guaranteed. 36 laps it is going to be around here. 9 laps must be done on the hard tyres, 9 laps must be done on the medium tyres, and you must start on whatever tyres you have qualified on. And we are now looking at our championship leader, a man who said he's not really looking forward to this race, if we're being honest, and it seems like he's definitely got more time in this lap. Interesting that he went down towards first gear through there, where we saw Brownski only go down into second gear, so choosing not to light those rear tyres up out of the corners. We've got some fans from Zurich. Hello to Louise fan. Hope you're enjoying the action. Deep Forest, of course, based in virtually in Switzerland. We'll see what kind of lap it is going to be for Solid Ninja Snake as he heads across the line. 7th place for him. Just checking what tyres quite a lot of the others are. Brownski's actually gone for a set of soft tyres. Don't see too many of these in qualifying. We did see someone take a risk with it a couple of weeks ago when in the end did not really work out. So interesting to see that Brownski has chosen to go for that set of the soft tyres. Very aggressive strategy indeed. Kepler, fastest car on a set of the mediums, and it is actually Wedgiebo, who's, to be honest, not the greatest of seasons so far has Wedgiebo. Currently down in 13th in the championship. Only point to score was a 7th place at round number 1 of the season at Kyoto. He's in 5th at the moment on a set of the hard tyres, so could be someone to watch out for. Could be a bit of a surprise performance from himself. He's not improving on this lap. Let's see what Isenyan can do in the BMW. Currently in 7th place in this qualifying session so far this season in the championship. He himself is in 12th place, just a 1 point ahead of Wedgiebo. Best finish of 7th at Dragon Trail Gardens in the wet. In fact, every point he has scored so far has been in a wet race after picking up 10th place last time out at the Red Bull Ring. There's going to be no danger of wet weather this time around. Can he get into the 1 minute 34s? Can he send the BMW further up the grid? He can indeed. 1:34.961 puts him into 6th place for now, ahead of Wedgiebo on this qualifying session. Ramon Ramirez in 5th place at the moment. Have we got anyone who is near the end of a lap? This is looking much, much better for Solid Ninja Snake. He'll be aiming again into that 1:34s. 1:35.200 in the end for Solid Ninja Snake. Still behind Wedgiebo, despite being on those hard tyres for both of them. See there, Steve-O has picked up a penalty, so Kepler going to get a bit of a slipstream off the Jaguar driver. As we said last time out, Steve-O taking that victory. Solid Ninja Snake saying that he didn't feel like he's got things right. And so far this season, that's a very wild line there from Kepler. You can easily pick up a penalty there. The track limits won't be monitored on that corner by the gate stewards. They will be monitored, though, by the game. So a half a second penalty for Kepler means this is not going to be an improvement, but it is an improvement for Brownski. Really pushing things hard on those soft tyres. 1:33.770 for him. Ramon Ramirez has got himself up in towards 3rd place in the Sylvia. Yeah, Ramirez 2 6th places so far, and has certainly been someone with a lot of pace. Feel like there's more to come from Ramon in the Sylvia, especially after, leading most of the way at Lago Maggiore, especially in the first stint of the race, and getting pole position last time out at the Red Bull Ring. Got to think that there is more pace to come from that car. Isenyan now heading towards the line. He's got a bit of a slipstream off Messi's skills, so that's going to be good news for him. Certainly going to be a big help. And Isenyan does improve, just stays behind Steve-O for now, who has that 1 second penalty. And our championship leader's not finding this as fun as he would have wanted at the moment. He is in 8th. Amazingly, he's not had too many pole positions so far this season. But this looks like it is going to be a better lap, and there we go. 1:35.081 stays behind Wedgiebo, though, in 7th place. So it is Brownski on pole position at the moment, and unless my maths is wrong, this qualifying session is not too far away from coming to an end, folks. So I think that is going to be it, and it is going to be Brownski qualifying on pole position for this race. Kepler in 2nd place. Ramon Ramirez 3rd, Mick 4th, Steve-O 5th, championship leader only in 8th place at the moment. Isenyan trying to improve. Oh, that's not ideal. Him and Messi's skills almost getting together there. Not what you want to see. This is the first time we've seen Messi race in Tier 2. He has raced in our reserve tier, which is not streamed, but this is his first chance with the big boys, and he's in 12th place at the moment, so certainly not disgracing himself. Drivers are still managing to, well, I was about to say, they're still managing to get more laps in. That is it. That is qualifying over. And it is Brownski on pole position. Kepler in second place. Ramon Ramirez in third, our championship leader, down in 8th position. We wait for the lights to come on here in the forest of Switzerland. We have got 5 lights. They go out and we're underway then. What are the starts like? A pretty good start from Mick McMock in the background. He's going to be challenging Gr.4 on the run down towards the first corner, but it is Brownski into the lead of this race. Gr.4 in second place, Mick McMock in third. Steve-O trying to recover down the inside of cars in the early stages. He's battling with Ramon Ramirez and he's managed to get that one to work. A solid Ninja Snake gets himself up in towards 6th place as we reset the camera angles for all you lovely folks. And it is Brownski in the lead of this race then as they come towards the end of the first sector. Gr.4 in second place. Now remember, Brownski's on the soft tyres. We didn't expect many drivers to use these, but this could be a decent tactic. He's got to do 9 on the hard and 9 on the mediums. Other than that, if you want to use the soft tyres for the remaining 18 laps, it's in your prerogative to do that. You are certainly allowed to do so, and it's been exactly the start that you would have expected on the grippier tyres, flying away in the first laps of this race. It's been a decent start from Mick McMock, and this is where the slipstreaming begins. This is where you probably don't want to be at the front of the queue. This is where you do not want to be. The Ferrari of Gr.4 GT, after a fantastic qualifying, he's going to come under some pressure here in towards the hairpin at the end of the long straight, in towards the hairpin at turn number 13. Mick McMock down the inside he goes, and Ramon Ramirez sends it on Steve-O as well. Somehow gets the Nissan stopped in time, and that is a brilliant move from him. And that's Diogo Moura just getting a bit hot. He's had a bump from behind by the looks of that damage marker from the game. Certainly looks like he's had a bump from somewhere, so that is Diogo Moura finding himself in a teensy bit of trouble at the moment in 8th place. That damage should heal itself fairly quickly, but at the end of the first lap it is Brownski leading from Mick McMock, and Ramon again sending it. He is going for these moves in the early stages, and I'm not sure Gr.4 is going to be too happy about that one, because that's really put him on the back foot. Steve-O, last week's race winner, able to go alongside Jaguar versus Ferrari, battling side by side at the moment. Which one of these is going to come out on top? And in the end, Gr.4 left with no choice but to yield that position. So Brownski on the soft tyres, Mick the leading car on the mediums, and the leading car on the hards is our championship leader, Solid Ninja Snake. All he has to do is really stay in contact in these early stages. Isinyan in 7th place, Diogo Moura in 8th. Wejibo, he qualified highest out of everyone on the hards, but he's not had a good start to the race, and he's come under a bit more pressure there. Messi Skills has got himself in towards the point. We'll be hoping for a clean overtake. I'll certainly not be hoping for a messy one as we head further up the order. Are we going to see another dive bomb from Ramon Ramirez? He's a bit too far back, even for what we've seen from the German so far in this race. That is Mick comfortably safe in 2nd place. Yeah, Mick, pole position, round number 1 of the season. And a reminder, did get his best result of the season last time out in the race that wasn't streamed for Tier 2. Last time out, he did manage a 3rd place at the Red Bull Ring, and he's in 2nd at the moment. Not in too bad of a position whatsoever on that set of the medium tyres, but do not be surprised if we see him having to make 2 stops with the fuel consumption in that car. As here comes Gr.4 all over the rear wing of the Jaguar. Probably felt a bit aggrieved by what happened earlier on. Can he go round the outside in towards turn number 1? No, he can't. Very clever driving from Steve-O. Just hugs that inside line. Stop the Ferrari, the Ford Ferrari, as I call it. Very similar to the Ford livery that we saw in GT Pro back in, only back a few years ago when the Ford were racing in the World Endurance Championship. Gr.4's got it on a Ferrari, and he's in 5th place at the moment, not doing too bad whatsoever, and they are just dropping a tiny bit, Solid Ninja Snake. Unsurprisingly, on those hard tyres, he is finding things difficult. He's starting to come under a bit of pressure from Isinyan in the BMW, so let's keep him on board with the Irishman and see what he can do. A reminder, he's yet to score points in a dry race with a 5.5 second gap behind him after only 2.5 laps. This is a good opportunity. Going that wide, though, isn't going to help. Just not got the straight line speed of the Renault there. Certainly not helped by a poor exit from Isinyan. That is the penalty point for the drivers in this race. So, accrue any penalties, that is where they will be slowing down, of course. And really causing themselves a whole world of pain if they have to do that. Certainly not ideal. We saw a few in qualifying. Haven't seen anyone get them in the race. Certainly not like what we saw last time out at the Red Bull Ring, where penalties were Very common indeed, even in the dry, even before we got to the wet conditions. A lot of drivers were picking up time penalties back towards this battle for second, where they are just holding themselves up a tiny bit, I feel. I mean, they're setting the fastest laps of the race there is Ramon Ramirez. Steve-O not close enough, though, to go for a move down the inside. And this will be an interesting race for Ramon. So far this season, the Nissan driver has started races brilliantly, has led away from the front, yet to feature on the podium in the 2 races that he's taken part in. So we'll see whether tonight is an opportunity for Ramirez, and that was nearly an opportunity for Steve-O as we go on board with the Jaguar. Making his way around this, like I mentioned, tight, twisty, awkward section 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Not really an overtaking opportunity turn number 10, because you'll have to go for a late lunge down the inside, and you'll probably compromise your line all the way down the back straight here through 11 and 12, which are barely even corners for the drivers to worry about, and into that braking zone of turn number 13. Coming under pressure into that braking zone of turn number 13 is going to be Mick McMock at the moment. Ramon Ramirez is all over the back of him. All he's got to do is make sure he doesn't outbrake himself, and that is very late on the brakes indeed from the Mercedes. Gets it stopped in time, and amazingly, after the confidence he had on the brakes earlier on, I am amazed we did not see Ramon go for that move. I'd have thought he'd have been straight down the inside there. Not going for it, might have put him under a bit of pressure. He's having to take a tighter line here through the final couple of corners, but Nissan's still got some grunt in that car. It's got some decent straight line speed. Even with a strong slipstream, Steve-O only just now starting to catch up. Has to retain that, well, has to stay in that position for now. And Solid Ninja Snake was getting dropped slightly. Still 2 seconds behind these guys, but only losing about half a second a lap at the moment. Not a nightmare for him. All of them still going slower than Brownski. He's got these soft tyres in a window where they are working well. It remains to be seen whether this is going to be the best tactic for him. Will be able to go medium hard from here. Obviously, you know, he's nailed his colours to the 2-stop at the moment. Generally for the Renaults, we've seen 1 stop be the strategy to go. Brownski tried something similar to this a few weeks ago at Lago Maggiore. Did manage to get a podium at that race, but certainly don't think it was as high up as he would have wanted. I think he thought he had an opportunity to take the victory in this race. So we'll see on this occasion for Brownski, the man who is still in the championship hunt at the moment. 21 points off the top. 4th place with Javi only 1 point ahead of him, and Steve-O only 4 points ahead of him. There's a bit of a gap, obviously, to Solid Ninja Snake at the moment, but now it's now or never for Brownski. If he wants to start getting involved in this championship battle, getting involved in this hunt, really feel like tonight could be a fantastic opportunity, with Ninja Snake being down there in 6th place, but albeit on a strategy on paper, at least, which looks as though it could be the better one. We'll see what battles are going on further down the field. Messi Skills, another driver who's gone for a set of soft tyres in the early stages of this race. He's got himself into 8th, and they're already looking very worn out, aren't they, the softs on that car? As this could be a move. Diogo Mora and Javi battling side by side. Again, it looks like the Argentinian driver's going for the long game, not defending. Don't think he really had a choice about that one. The Portuguese driver, Diogo Mora, is up into 9th, and Javi, the man 3rd in the championship, 3 podiums in the 4 races that he's finished. When he has finished, he's never been outside the top 4. He's down in 10th at the moment, and has also, though, gone for a set of the hard tyres. About 12 seconds off of Solid Ninja Snake, the other driver who's on the hard tyres. And then it's Wedgibo, Lee the Reaper, B9, who's a bit further back, battling with Jamie, and GB Dan. Those drivers all on the hard tyres, all further down the field. Just because they're in a bad place now does not mean later on in this race that it will not come to them. If there's one thing I've learned this season, it is never, ever write anyone off, because you just don't know what could happen. We know, obviously, well, we know what's going to happen with the weather. That's going to be nice and predictable. We're not going to have any surprises there, but you never know with anything else whether there's going to be any surprises around the corner. Mick's hoping there's no overtakes around the corner, because he's starting to come under quite a bit of pressure once again here as Steve-O picks up a 1-second penalty at the exit of the hairpin. That's going to really cost him next time around and will allow Kepler to be all over the back of him. But here's come Ramon Ramirez on the medium tyres in towards turn number 1. Is he brave enough on the brakes not on this occasion. That Mercedes working well under braking at the moment, is using up his tyres a lot more though than the Nissan. So looking at that fuel usage for both of these cars as well, one stop not a feasible strategy, so they will have to do 2 stops. I think that could be a deciding factor, whether you have to run 2 sets of mediums or whether you can afford to run 1 stop on each set of the soft tyres. Might just swing the way this race goes for some drivers. As Steve-O, despite that penalty, really hustling that Jaguar at the moment. You can see all over the back of Ramon, but he's going to find himself losing out to Gr.4 on this lap, as we're going to get a brilliant demonstration. Even though the penalty says 1 second, you're going to have a brilliant demonstration of just how costly a 1 second penalty can be. Generally, it costs you quite a bit more than 1 second, depending on what point of the circuit it happens. So there's the penalty line. There he goes, slowing down, and Gr.4 is going to get a slipstream here and go from 1 second behind to comfortably ahead before the braking zone, as Mick McMock also up ahead, losing out then to Ramon Ramirez. So there's been 2 position changes on that lap. Ramon finally gets the move done. He's been hounding the Mercedes for a while, and I think the fresher tyres on the Nissan have begun to take advantage. He's up into second, Mick down into third, Gr.4 and Steve-O also swapping around. This could be an intriguing one, whether Ramon can now start challenging after Brownski. At the moment though, he's just thinking about what is going on behind him, because Mick is all over the back again. I think the front tyres have just started to cry enough on that car, as we've got our first pitter, and that is Messi Skills on lap number 7. Into the pits then comes the debutant here in Tier 2. Soft tyres going off. We'll definitely have got 1 more lap out of those. We'll see whether he puts any fuel in the car. I think it might be worth definitely topping up a tiny bit. Messi Skills into the pits from 15th and last place in a very colourful livery. You're not missing that one in a while. Fuel going in the car. Very slow refuelling rate compared to what some of these drivers would be used at. Only 4 litres per second, so can take a long time. Well, 25 seconds if you want empty to filling up the tank completely. He's come out on a set of hard tyres. Does still have 1 compulsory pit stop to make, of course, to do at least 9 laps on the mediums after he's done. There's 9 laps on the hard tyres, and even though he's on the softs, they're still working well at the moment. The new tyre wear system on this game means it is a bit of a cliff edge. Once they start falling off, that is where you're seeing fastest lap of the race there for Brownski, even though his tyres are very old and have probably got, I reckon, 1 or 2 more laps left in them. Still setting the fastest laps and still able to pull away from Ramon Ramirez, and a couple of tenths a lap at the moment. You got 6.29 seconds, 6.3 seconds it ticks over to. 1:34.2 for him on that lap. We'll compare that to Ramon as his fuel's wearing down. 1:34.4. So since his personal best lap of the race, still 2 tenths slower than what Brownski is doing at the moment. He's certainly pleasing his fans in the chat, so let us know who you're supporting. Let us know who you think is going to win. Take this opportunity for a big thank you for our sponsors here at PSGL. We have got GT Omega, our lead partners here at PSGL. Use the code PSGL to get 5% off. And we've also got Grid Rival as well for the F1 predictions. We'll see if your predictions on that are as good as some of the predictions that we're going to see for tonight. Steve-O's managed to work his way back past ahead of Gr.4 GT, so that is a position change. The Jaguar up in towards 4th place. Gr.4, I imagine, must have had a penalty or a mistake on that last lap. 1:35.8 is really his slowest lap since lap number 2 for the Ferrari. Long way down the field, and neither of them now really on the back of Mick, who started to be dropped by Ramon. So things swinging the way of the Nissan driver at the moment. Well, let's not forget our championship leader. Let's not forget he's on a set of hard tyres. And let's not forget, with the fuel usage he's on at the moment, depending on how good he can keep the tyres, which I imagine is going to be very good, because this is what he does, Solid Ninja Snake is the lead car on a 1-stop strategy. I can't see him, just with pit lane lengths, I can't see him going for the 2-stop strategy. And Yavi, who's now up into 8th, is also on that 1-stop strategy. So the Argentine driver, who goes a bit deep in towards the hairpin there, might still have a chance of getting a podium in this race. I think a victory's a bit far away, but certainly a podium. It looks like this could be a circuit where the Renaults are dominating once more. And if anyone's going to get in between those Renaults, it's going to be this man, who, again, last lap around, 6 tenths slower than Brownski. Not the cleanest of lap from Ramon Ramirez, but he is still pulling away from the rest of the lap. pack as we are a quarter of the way through round number 6 here in the PSGL GT League. Yeah, doing very well at the moment. We've had a very clean race so far. We've not seen too many major incidents, not got too many battles at the moment. The field seems rather spread out, but this is one that could be an intriguing one to watch. Dan versus B9, 13 from 14, out of the points for now, but again, that's also, looking at this, we might also see Nissan drivers manage a one-stop strategy, so this is something we're going to keep an eye on. If they can keep their fuel usage, well, in Dan's case, ram on a bit more borderline, but if he's careful, it could still be doable. Might still see some of these drivers trying a one-stop strategy, although I don't think, to be honest, I don't think with their fuel usage they'll be able to do so. Might be a little bit of a splash and dash in the end, and they run onto the soft tyres. But here comes Brownski then, into the pits from the race lead. Long, long way down the pit lane he will go. We all know he's going to make one more stop after this. I imagine he's going to put a tiny bit of fuel in the car. The question is going to be hard or medium tyres going on the Lego car. Into the pits he goes. Tyre change. We'll see as he exits the pit lane what tyres they are going to be. Bit more fuel coming into that one. Is Unyan? That's an interesting one. He's also in on lap number 9 into the pit lane. Well, lap number 10, sorry, into the pit lane. See what tyres he has gone for. Brownski onto the medium tyres. So clearly going for I'd say a fairly long stint this time around. Probably 13, 14 laps if he can do so. And then obviously onto the hards for the end of the race. And he's come out, crucially for him, in some free air ahead of Jamie 9 million. So crucial that he got that move done. Fingers crossed for Jamie. He doesn't have any connection issues. He's really been struggling with his connection this week. I mean, there is a new update coming out for Gran Turismo tomorrow, which hopefully, sure everyone's got their fingers crossed, will make things a bit more stable. And we'll be bringing some new cars. Brand new electric car coming in, the Volkswagen IDR. Be interesting to see how that one works out. But for now, all petrol powered here. And Jamie in 11th place, yet to come into the pits. And Brownski, the lead car of those that have pitted, he is in 10th at the moment. Will we see the other cars start to react as Wedgibo, recovering from a poor start from the race? I don't think he'll mind me saying that. He is all over the back of Lee the Reaper. Just closing in down the back straight, and again, yeah, nothing they can really do at the moment. Just not the slipstream's not massively powerful in these cars. Obviously not a lot of aero, so not really loads of drag on them. Turn number 1 and turn number 13, really your only realistic overtaking opportunities, barring a mistake from any car in front of you. Was that his Lee the Reaper into the pits then from the Jaguar? I've got to say, fair play to Diogo Mora as well. Not someone we've seen too often this season, and certainly not someone we've seen this season massively towards the front of the field. In 7th place at the moment, but I think still on a very handy strategy indeed. 16 points in the championship. Could Diogo get his best result of the season? So far, that's a 6th place at the Red Bull Ring at Dragon Trail. So again, in the wet, he's finished in the top 5. His best drive result so far, well, he's finished 6th place, sorry, not in the top 5. He's scored 5 points in each wet race. In the dry, his best result is 8th place. And seeing how he's in 7th at the moment, with possibly only one stop, he might not be doing too bad. Commentator's curse, on the other hand, he's tapped the wall with that front left. That's, yeah, it's a good job there's a lot of left-handers on this track. It's a good job it's an anti-clockwise circuit, because you do not want front left damage around a right-hander. And having to run that wide could easily earn Diogo Mora a bit of a penalty. And that's going to allow Wedgibo and surely, soon to be Brownski, close their way in as well. And as we expected, half a second penalty for the Portuguese driver. But it is still, as Steve-O's now got himself a penalty, it is still Ramon Ramirez leading the race. And Steve-O and Mick McMark, both of them diving their way into the pit. So it is now Ramon Ramirez comfortably in the lead of this race, doing a swell job on those medium tyres. I've got to say, if he can stretch probably 6, you know, if he can get them to lap 17, lap 18, then that's prime one-stops territory. That is prime put the hard tyres on. If he can only stretch it to lap 17, might have a bit of fuel, you know, fuel saving to do in the final stints if he wants to make a one-stop work. Only to lap 16, he's probably going to have too much fuel saving to do, I believe, as Mick and Steve-O, clearly they've enjoyed this strategy. They've gone aggressive Both of them coming out not too far behind Brownski, to be honest. That is a very reduced lead. The mediums, as we know, still giving you plenty of purchase, and neither of them, I don't think have gone for any fuel. Well, if they have gone for fuel, they've certainly not gone for a lot of fuel. Certainly nowhere near as much as Brownski, who won't be refueling the car again. It will be hard tyres and nothing else for him in his final stint, judging by that fuel gauge at the moment. Mick and Steve-O have gone for something a bit more aggressive, a lot less fuel. They've gone for the soft tyres. They're attacking things now, ready for a long, hard tyre stint at the end of the race. I think we all know that my opinion is go for the hard tyres now and then go for the softs right at the end when you can maybe attack a tiny bit more. That's just my opinion. Definitely been wrong before. There's reasons why I'm in the commentary box and not driving out there on circuit. But Steve-O won't get the move done this time because he is going to get a penalty. And I think we'll be able to retain that 9th place ahead of Jamie. Dan's got ahead of B9, so that's a move further back. 11th and 12th place. Isinyan came out in 13th. He's on a set of mediums, so we'll have to make one more pit stop in that BMW to go for a set of hards. Interesting that he's got the windscreen wipers on. Certainly not expecting any rain tonight. Maybe because he performs better in the wet, he's decided, you know what, I'll just put the windscreen wipers on him dry. What's the worst? That could happen. So Isinyan going for something, yeah, very intriguing there. And Lee the Reaper in 14th, Messi Skills in 15th after their pit stops. Kepler into the pits. Diogo Mora, that's an early stop off the hard tyre. So Diogo clearly not interested in a one stop. He's clearly going to go for the 2 stop because the mediums will not last 23 laps on that car. Fuel going in. Well, fuel won't last 23 laps on that car. So, yeah, interesting by Diogo that he's not gone for a potential one-stop strategy. He's nailed his colours to the 2-stop mast. And surely we'll be seeing softs on that car later in this race. Mediums now. So, yeah, final stint will be softs for Diogo Mora. He comes out in 14th, just behind Lee the Reaper at the moment. Kepler, he's gone for a set of mediums, so he's not going uber aggressive. He's gone for a set of medium tyres and he's come out in 9th place. A long way, though, obviously, behind Steve-O and Mick McMark, who are now right on the back of Brownski. And Brownski right on the back of Wedgiebo. Needs to get this move done. In towards the hairpin does the Renault driver. Pulls towards the inside line. That Porsche's got some decent straight line speed, though. He's not defending too hard at the moment. And I think Brownski is going to have to send it on the brakes in towards the hairpin. And send it he has done. That is Brownski up in towards 4th place, but he's not going to be there for long, I don't think. Mick's already made his way past the Porsche driver, and now he's going to be all over the back of that Renault as they climb their way through the final few corners. Mick's got so much more speed, so much more grip. He's on the outside line. He's going to be ahead long before the braking zone. Look at that from the Mercedes. Mick McMark in towards 4th place. And, well, provisionally set the fastest lap of the race, but that has been stolen straight away by Steve-O, who's looking very racy in behind as well. So that is Mick McMark in towards 4th. He now leads out of those that have come into the pits. As we are on lap 15 of this race, hope everyone is enjoying it at the moment. A race where we're still not too the wiser of how things are going to work out at the moment, are we? It's a bit all over the place in terms of the different strategies that everyone's going for. And you know what? We love it that way. Who enjoys predictable strategies, really? We like things where there's a bit more variety. We're seeing soft tyres being used more with the new physics on this game, which is great to see, and that certainly helped Mick with his overtake on the last lap. Still think the strategy of going longer on a hard mediums, if you can make it work, is the best one. That is what Yavi is trying to do at the moment. We'll be able to get another 5 or 6 laps comfortably out of those hard tyres and comfortably out of his fuel as well. We'll gain a half-second penalty is not ideal. 23 seconds behind Ramon Ramirez. And I think more crucially for him, 13 seconds behind Solid Ninja Snake at the moment. And the big question is, how many more laps is Ramon going to get out of that set of the medium tyres? If he pits this lap, I don't think that's ideal for him. If he can get until the end of lap 17, I think he'll be fine. And I think he'll be on a one-stop strategy. And all of a sudden, with a bit of tyre management, things are looking well for Nissan driver. Things are looking very well indeed. The Silvia working beautifully in the hands of the German at the moment. 10.1 second lead. He's on a one stop at the moment. He's on a one, so he's got one stop left to do. Brownski also has one stop left to do, and Brownski is 25 seconds behind at the moment. That just gives you an idea of the task that Brownski has got in hand. And also, Brownski's got hard tyres to go on for his final stint, so he's not got any advantage there. Steve-O's also got hard tyres to go on at the end of this stint, and he's not found it as easy to clear the traffic as Mick McMock has. Mick has escaped slightly of the road at the moment. Yarvi's trying to stay in contact. Both of them well clear of Wedgiebo. Here we are on board with the Jaguar driver. Last week's race winner is going to need a bit of a miracle if he wants to become the winner this time around. And here he is, all over the back of Brownski at the moment. This is going to be another straightforward move for the Jaguar driver on the inside line. He's got much better grip on the braking. That is Steve-O up in towards 5th. And our pole sitter, the man who led the race after qualifying and starting on that set of the soft tyres, finds himself in 6th place. Yes, 3 cars ahead of him have still got to pit. He has also got to pit towards the end, so not sure. Again, not sure two-stopping in the Renault is the smartest idea. I think if you're in that car, you've just got to take advantage of its innate tyre-saving, fuel-saving abilities and just carry on for the one-stop strategy. The Porsche not doing too bad at the moment with Wedgiebo behind the wheel. He's in 17th place. Tyre wear, though, quite a bit of an Achilles heel on this game for the Porsche. Weirdly, I seem to remember its Gr.4 cousin being quite nice on GT Sport in terms of tyre wear, but Wedgiebo at the moment on the hard tyres. Fuel wear's not an issue for him, so if he wants to brim the car at this pit stop, he would be able to. I think he'd be better off possibly going for mediums on this stop and then a run on the soft tyres later on in the race if he so chooses, or second run on that set of the mediums. But he's in 7th, Jamie in 8th, Kepler in 9th, B9 in 10th, Dan in 11th place, so Dan has dropped back behind the Porsche driver. Izunyan in 12th, pushing hard in that BMW. Diogo Morva 13th. He also has one stop left, as does Lee the Reaper and Messi Skills. First race in this tier. Last but not least at the moment, as here comes Ramon Ramirez, and I think he's going to have to stay left. And there we go, that is it. The German driver, the Nissan, in towards the pits at the end of lap number 17. Going to have some fuel saving to do in this final stint if he wants to go for the one stop, or is he just going to go all guns blazing and put on either a set of softs now or a set of softs right at the end of the race? This is very intriguing. See what Ramon Ramirez goes for, but it is our championship leader, Solid Ninja Snake, then, who takes the lead of the race. Tyres going on. And here's what I mean about pit stop lengths on this game. 1:55 showing as the fuel starts to go into his car. He's got another 10, 15, possibly 20 seconds sat there if he's trying to get this car towards the end of the race, as the cars are just streaking past him on the straight. Kepler goes by, B9 goes by, Dan not too far behind either. There we go, Ramon. Well, fuel in the car. Where is he going to come out? It's going to be pretty close, actually, with B9 and Dan on the exit of this corner. He does not want to get involved in this battle, and unfortunately for him, he has not got a choice. So on a set of the hard tyres, with fuel brim to the, filled to the brim, suggests this is a one-stop for Ramon. He does not have to come into the pits again if he's careful on his fuel. And maybe just sticking behind these a bit, maybe a bit of lifting and coasting, could be the way for Ramon Ramirez at the moment. So he is now down towards 11th place, and that is Solid Ninja Snake, as we would all expect, into a lead. And the two fellow Renaults, one of who is his teammate and shares a livery, are having a battle further behind. This is Yarvi and Brownski battling for 4th and 5th place at the moment. In the slipstream comes Brownski, 137, nearly 140 miles per hour as he hits the brakes in towards the hairpin. He's alongside and just about manages to make that one stick. Yarvi thinks about getting a better cutback for the better exit. He might have a lighter fuel load, but not really got a lot left from those tyres at the moment as Yarvi, so he stays in 5th place for now, but he's got a chance at fighting back. Back we go, halfway through this race. Ninja Snake, Mick McMock, Steve-O, your top 3 at the moment. 4th place, you can throw a handkerchief over them. At the moment, Wedgiebo into the pits for his first stop. Down the inside comes Yarvi, he's on the worst tyres. Oh, there's a tiny bit of contact between the two of them there. I think Brownski brakes as late as he dares, hold on to their place, but I'm not sure whether he skidded and that caused the contact, or whether the skid was caused by the contact, to be honest. That would be an interesting one. Don't think it's anything that is worthy of the stewards looking at after the race, if it gets reported, of course. It doesn't get reported, then the stewards won't be looking at it after the race. It's as simple as that. But Brownski getting very close with Yarvi and could have done without the Argentine driver fighting. But I think Yarvi knows, you know, this could be a car I'm fighting with at the end of the race. This could be a car I'm fighting with at the end of the race for a possible podium. I need to start thinking about making some moves now and seeing how much longer he can drag out of these hard tyres. I imagine lap 22, lap number 23, we'll be seeing him come in at the latest. Fuel's probably going to dive it towards 21, 22. But Yarvi probably not far away from coming into the pits for his one and only pit stop for a set of the medium tyres. Neither is our race leader, Solid Ninja Snake, doing a brilliant job at the moment. And in fact, there we go. Used a bit more fuel than Yarvi, so lap number 19. Solid Ninja Snake comes into the pits. That will be medium tyres going on his car, giving the lead to one of these. Mick McMock takes the lead for now, but Steve-O right under the rear wing of that Mercedes. He knows he's got work to do if he wants to emulate last week and get his second win in a row and really start putting the pressure on in the championship. Going into the break, down the inside goes for Jaguar in towards turn number 1. And that is Steve-O into the lead. And I think Mick realising, you know what? Fair play to him. He had the slipstream, he had the move done. And if they keep overtaking like that, they might not hold each other up. And they might certainly, in fact, help each other in this race. Because I think they have got to work together at the moment of Steve-O and Mick. They're on different strategies. They'll both be coming into the pits this lap for hard tyres to take them towards the end of the race. And then they might even have to do a bit of fuel saving towards the end of this race, these two drivers. So that is going to be something to watch out for. Mick and Steve-O will be coming into the pits this lap, and that's going to give Brownski the lead. Jamie in 4th place. He's doing a great job on those hard tyres at the moment in the Nissan is Jamie. A reminder, his only points this season, well, I say, he did score points, I believe, at Japan earlier on, but because he changed his car, those points have been removed. Since he's changed to the Nissan, he's not really had any luck, to be honest. No points, well, no finish last time out in the Red Bull Ring, and no finish at Lago Maggiore as well because of connection issues. At the moment, though, he's hoping everything stays nice and even, and he's hoping for a good connection, because you don't want to be lagging when you're going side by side with another car. Kepler trying to get himself back involved in things. Let's not forget, he was on the back of Mick and Steve-O earlier on, but he's gone for something completely different on the strategy. Has the Ferrari driver down the inside, and the superior grip of the Ferrari gives him 4th place, which will soon be 2nd place. As Steve-O and Mick both come into the pits for what will be their second and final pit stops at the end of lap number 20. I think they were hoping soft tyres might take them an extra, well, their fuel load might take them a lap or two longer, and the soft tyres might as well. Jamie also coming into the pit. So, fresh tyres going on to Steve-O's car in the Jaguar. Should be the only way is up for him. Now, for the rest of this race, it's going to be a sizable length fueling stop as well, around about 20 seconds. 80 litres of fuel going into that car to get the Jaguar towards the end of the race. 16 laps left to do on the hard tyres, and he can only go for the hard tyres to make sure he meets the mandatory pit stop requirement. 9 laps on the mediums, 9 on the hards. So, there is Steve-O out of the pits. Mick will be following him. That is, well, is he going to be 6th and 7th? Because in fact, Lee the Reaper, round the outside, he goes in with Jaguar. And that is Lee into 6th. Again, for someone who's coming to the pits, for traffic has not exactly been kind to them. Lap number 21, here is our, I think we can effectively say at the moment, here is our net race leader on lap number 21. Ramon Ramirez, 5.5 seconds ahead of Solid Ninja Snake. The difference is, Ramon, on a set of the hard tyres, our championship leader, winner of 4 rounds out, well, 3 rounds out of 5 so far. Solid Ninja Snake on a set of the medium tyres. So his tyres are a lot quicker. Neither of them, I don't think, are going to have any issue with tyre wear towards the end of the race. So even though Ramon is the net race lead, he doesn't have to come into the pits. Brownski and Kepler do. I'd say the advantage lies in the hands of Solid Ninja Snake. And with Steve-O and Mick, you know, and possibly Yarvi not really having the best race at the moment, this could be a big, big opportunity. It is possible, depending on how tonight goes, it is mathematically possible that when we come back from the break in 2 weeks' time at Autopolis Short, you could be seeing Solid Ninja Snake crowned as the champion here, emulating what he did last season in Tier 2. Do not be surprised when it comes to Season 3, and you probably won't have to wait too long to get information about Season 3. Don't be surprised. This man's making his way towards the top tier because he's proved so far this season he is a very class act indeed. Can he prove it enough to hold on to the victory here? And in fact, last lap, Ramon set an identical time to Solid Ninja Snake. So, Ninja's got to gain just underneath half a second, well, just underneath half a second a lap at the moment. He's about 6 seconds behind with 15 laps to go. So 0.4 seconds a lap should do it for Solid Ninja Snake. Over the last couple of laps, he's gained 0.3 and nothing. So needs to step it up, but needs to make sure he doesn't run out of fuel. Needs to make sure he doesn't burn up the tyres too much. All this delicate balancing act that the drivers are left doing. Jarvi has been into the pits for a set of mediums, so he is now coming... Well, he came into the pits on lap number 19, so he's come out in 9th place. Came in on the same lap as his championship rival, Snake. Just not quite had the pace to battle with everyone else today so far, has Jarvi, but there's others pit in front of him. Might still end up in a nice position. Lee the Reaper has been passed by Steve-O and Mick. We'll see how these two fight now, because they know they can't afford to battle too hard. They'll lose out to Brownski, possibly even bring Kepler back into things, but they also know no more pit stops. Can't rely on doing things different on strategy. It's all going to be about fighting for the next 20, 25 minutes out on the circuit between these two. Between someone who got his first win last time out in Steve-O and another driver who got his first podium last time out in Mick, who's sort of just leading that midfield pack at the moment in the championship. 5th place and has scored points in every round so far this season. Not many drivers have done that. It is only Snake, Steve-O, and Brownski and Mick McMork that have scored points in every race so far this season. Kepler and Ramirez have scored points in every round that they have competed in, as have a few drivers that have only competed in one round, but good consistency from, you know, from those four that have been in every race so far. Can't really fault that, and that is the kind of things that's going to help you take the championship at the moment. As he starts to put the hammer down a bit more now as Solid Ninja Snake. He's got that gap within 5 seconds. Only gained a 10th on the last lap. I wonder whether we've seen a tiny bit of a tiny chink in the armour from Ramon Ramirez. Certainly pushing the track limits out of turn number 10, and that's what he can't afford. Any penalties at the moment for either of the driver is going to swing the pendulum in quite a dramatic way. And let's not forget these two. Kepler has to come into the pits, I imagine. Well, in fact, I say imagine, he can only come in for a set of the hard tyres for Kepler, so that's probably going to drop him out of contention with Steve-O and Mick and mean 5th or 6th place, the best that Kepler can fight for. Brownski, he'll be coming into the pits. Again, he also has to come in for a set of the hard tyres, but he's pushing like crazy at the moment, just trying to see if there's anything he can do to keep himself, you know, in contention for a victory in this race. He's 28 seconds ahead of Ramon at the moment, but he's going to have to put some fuel in his pit stop. Not too much, though. So, maybe I was a bit hasty in writing off Brownski earlier when it comes to think of it. He's only going to need, from what he's got at the moment, he's probably only going to need 3 or 4 laps worth of fuel in that car. Possibly creep it up a tiny bit more. Maybe, you know, 4, 5, 6 laps worth of fuel in that car. So he's not going to be stationary too long when it comes to fueling time. Probably only 6 or 7 seconds. Yeah, Brownski, you know, you take those 6 or 7 seconds off, he's going to be behind Ninja Snake, but can hold on to a podium in this race. He might be sitting pretty indeed. Diogo Mora's also got to come into the pits again. He was someone who came in a lot earlier than we expected off his hard tyres. So Diogo in 5th place, gone for a bit of a glory run, and he's got himself half a second penalty. Just don't think the strategy has worked out the way that he would have wanted, but we've got a lovely battle going on now for 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th. Steve-O in that 6th place, leading this train. Lee the Reaper sort of the odd one out in 8th place at the moment, because we know he has got to come into the pits once again. Jarvi in 9th place. How much can he get himself involved in this battle? Every race, well, the races that he's finished, his worst result was a 4th at Watkins Glen. So he's always been close but no cigar. Just hasn't had the outright pace, perhaps, of, you know, Ninja in the Renault. Probably, you could arguably say, not at the outright pace of Brownski in the Renault. Just goes for the 1-stop more than the 2-stop, which tends to be the better strategy. So even Jarvi, perhaps, has got a bit of a chance of having a say and getting himself on towards the podium. I think we can safely say our top 2 is going to be Ramon Ramirez in 3rd place and Solid Ninja Snake in 4th. As again, Solid Ninja Snake just bringing down that gap at the moment. He's now got it down to less than 4 seconds. He's catching up Then he needs to just catch up around half a second a lap. It's been around a second a lap for the last couple. He's flying around. He's solid at the moment. And looking very good to be claiming that 4th victory of the season. We're 2/3 of the way through this race. Diogo Mora's got a time penalty, and Messi Skills has come in for his second and final pit stop. It is Brownski in the lead, Kepler in second, but they both have to pit. Ramon and Solid Ninja Snake in 3rd and 4th do not. Plenty of fuel going into that Porsche. It's a sacrifice you make. Do you go for a less fuel in stop number 1, or do you go for less fuel in stop number 2? Either way, you're going to have a pretty long stop at some point, unless you even things out. And that is Messi coming out in towards 15th place on a race what I imagine is more about learning experience for Messi at the moment. Is now a lap down, but a chance to maybe learn from the lines of other drivers, learn where you could possibly improve, and always an opportunity to get better ahead of when he'll be racing, possibly in this tier again, but I imagine more in our reserve tier / tier 3 throughout the rest of the season. A reminder, tier 1, for those who are looking for tier 1 tonight, unfortunately due to a lot of drivers not being able to make it, that has been postponed, so that will be racing next week, which was originally meant to be a break week. It is a break week for tier 2, and then the final 3 races at Autopolis in the wet. Brands Hatch GP and Trial Mountain will follow after that. As Lee the Reaper into the pits. Hard tyres going off his car. Mediums, I imagine, the only sensible option for the Jaguar at this point in the race. He's going to have a long, long way to go on a set of soft tyres. Plenty of fuel going in. I think it's going to be a big, big ask for him to get any points in this race. And I think Jamie could be on for some decent points here, because Jamie does not have to come into the pits again. As long as he's careful on his fuel, he doesn't have to stop, whereas, you know, the likes of Wedgie Bow ahead of him, Diogo Mora, both of them do have to come into the pits. So Jamie, a chance of a very solid result here. A chance of his first points in that Nissan. In fact, you know, even counting the points that he got early on this season, which have now been taken off him for changing cars. 10th in the Jaguar was what he managed at Yamagawa. So still, as well for Jamie, this is a very good, solid performance at the moment. And I've said it before, don't want to jinx him, knowing the connection issues that he's had earlier this season. This queue still going on. Steve-O now leading Mick Mark and Yarvi. Both of them, obviously with Lee coming into the pits, they've cleared Wedgiebo, and that is Yarvi trying a different line out of the, well, I'd say it's the final corner. It's the final big overtaking opportunity. Is that hairpin at turn number 13. He's on the medium tyres and the 2 in front of him on the hard, so that should be advantage Yarvi. It's just when can he make the moves work? Once again, the Argentinian driver, as the race goes on, is starting to play himself into a bit of form here. On board we go. Making their way up the hills. This is where he's going to lose out. He's going to be faster than the cars in front of this section, but it's not an overtaking opportunity. Unless the car in front of you makes a mistake. On the final lap of the race, trust me, you are going for it. At this point, it's just going to lose you too much time. It's about being a bit more smooth. And Steve-O's probably glad that he's glad for now that Yarvi's there. He won't be glad if Yarvi gets ahead of Mick, but it's certainly providing a distraction for the Mercedes. As again, Yarvi closes in. Brownski into the pits for his final pit stop. We'll see where he comes out relative to these cars. He's 45 seconds ahead of them at the moment. I think he should be fairly safe from getting overtaken by them, because it is not going to be the longest pit stop. So Brownski might come out, you know, still fairly comfortably ahead of these guys. And with 9 and a bit laps to go, they are staying line astern for now in 6th, 7th and 8th place. Kepler in for his final stop of the race as well. He's got to go on a set of the hard tyres and only doing 10 laps on the hards. You know, it's a positive from one point of view. It's a negative from you feel you could have gone a lot longer on them. As where's Brownski come out? There's where's Brownski come out. Down the inside of Solid Ninja Snake. He's comfortably in 3rd place at the moment. Going for that soft tyres seems to have worked for the Renault car. In towards 3rd place behind Solid Ninja Snake, who is now all over the back of Roman Ramirez. All of a sudden, 9 laps to go. We said it'll be near the end of the race when you realise the destination of this victory. We have got 1 second separating the top 3 cars. 1st and 3rd on that set of the hard tyres. Our championship leader not got track position. But he's on the better tyres at the moment. And I think now, that is probably it for pit stops for, well, certainly for the leaders. That's going to be it for the rest of this race as Ramon goes deep in towards turn number 10. Don't think he'll get a penalty for that because he's slowed down enough, but the bad exit could well be penalty enough here because here comes Solid Ninja Snake all over the back of him in the Renault. Which way is he going to go? Is Ramon going to even defend? In towards the hairpin, the straight line speed of that Nissan just starting to take advantage. Solid Ninja Snake stays behind for now, but you know what he's thinking? Trying to get underneath, trying to get that cutback out of the exit of the corner. Very wisely done from Ramon. And you'd be a brave person to go side by side at this point of the circuit. It's looking like when, not if, this move's getting done. And when it gets done, could well be in about 5 seconds time, as again Ninja all over the back of our race leader in that Nissan. Will we even see Ramon Ramirez hold on to third place in this race? Will it be another Renault 1-2? We've seen plenty of those this season. Japan, we saw a Renault 1-2. We saw the 1-2 as well for the Renault. Oh, well, that's the only one we've seen. It feels like we've seen a lot more, to be honest, in this second tier. But there we go. Side by side they come through the S's, Ramon and Solid Ninja Snake. And it is Snake who takes the lead of the race. We've got 8 laps to go then. Our championship leader is in the lead of this race. With his nearest rival in the championship being down in 4th place, it's a big chance for him to take advantage and a big chance for Brownski to see if he can make it a Renault 1-2 as well. Can he for the Lego team? Can he build his way up and get ahead of the Nissan at the moment? Second and third, probably the best these drivers are going to do. I can't see them dropping any further back because Yavi, on a set of mediums, he's about 13-14 seconds off them at the moment, and he's still stuck behind Mick, who is, you can see how much defending Mick's having to do because Steve-O's escaping up the road. 2 seconds. That gap has extended to, and you've got Wedgiebo. And let's not forget this man, he is on a set of the hard tyres, but let's not forget Gr.4 GT. He's also dragged himself back up into this battle. Look nowhere in the second stint, if I'm being perfectly honest. But as you can see, despite the different strategies, just how things change. Wedgiebo will be getting out of the way on this lap. He'll be going on to a set of mediums, I imagine, until the end of the race, unless he feels comfortable in getting the soft 8 laps, which isn't a massive task, if we're being honest. But we know the Porsche is a bit more of a tyre-hungry car, so that's going to drop Wedgiebo well outside the points. Jamie in 9th, Diogo Mora in 10th after his pit stop. He has gone soft for the end. That will be no issue whatsoever. Might even watch out for him catching Jamie towards the end of this race. B9 in 11th, Danny in 18th, Isanya in 13th, Leader Reaper 14th, PSGL in 15th, as Brownski has made that move work then. We've got ourselves a Renault 1-2, and that is Ramon again going pretty wild. That's how wild he's going. He's pushing hard at the moment, is Ramon, and needs to just be careful now. I think he needs to recognise, do you know what? Second place might have gone here, but I'm still going to get my best result of the season. I'm still going to get my first podium as long as I don't make any mistakes. 8 seconds ahead of LJM Steve-O. 7 laps to go. You take this position. More like 6.5 laps to go. You know, that sounds even better. You'd definitely take this if you were Ramon, as it looks as if Steve-O might have had a tiny bit of a moment on that lap. And still, Yavi, the Renault, just not with the straight line speed at the moment to make any moves on the Mercedes, and it's allowing Gr.4, even though he's on the worst tyres, to catch up. As somehow Wedgiebo's not coming to the pits on the last lap. That medium tyre at the front is looking absolutely short, and this could be the chance then for Yavi down the inside in towards the hairpin. Is he going to be able to do it on the brakes? Again, Mick goes very deep, runs a tiny bit wide. There's going to be some bumping and grinding between the two of them on the exit of the corner. Who's got the acceleration? And it is the supreme power and the supreme acceleration of the Mercedes at just about keeps Mick in 5th place for now. Well, that's going to give Yavi a fantastic run up the hill. 6 to go for everyone now. Ninja, Brownski, Ramon is your top 3, and barring any mistakes, that is the way it's going to change. Who knows, though? Who's going to finish behind him? Down the inside into turn number 1 goes Yavi. Again, a tiny bit of contact. Get away with that a bit more on Gran Turismo, and I think that was just about fair from the Argentinian driver. He's up into 5th. Now, has he got anything left in those tyres to be able to go after Steve-O and get himself in towards the top 4? Has he got anything left in those tyres to catch up to the gap to Ramon Ramirez? 9 seconds between the Renault and the Nissan at the moment. Barring mistakes, we're seeing more creep into Ramon's repertoire at the moment, but barring any mistakes from the German, he should be comfortable in 3rd place. And of course, Yavi he's got to spend some time working out how he can get past Steve-O, if indeed he can. And now Mick, coming under some pressure from Gr.4 GT. Mercedes versus Ferrari. We've seen this a few times in Formula 1 and other motorsports over the years. Seen it in the GT League here tonight at PSGL. Ferrari just not getting close enough at the moment, so Gr.4 sticking behind for now. We'll see now. Again, Mick's going to be on a big defensive job here, so we'll see whether, as Gr.4 very close to running too wide there. Don't be surprised if half a second pops up above his head any moment now. Looks as though he may have just gone away with it. Probably about as wide as you would want to run. These two battling for 6th place. If they work together, they can certainly drag themselves onto the back of Steve-O and Jarvi once again. I don't think it's any surprise. Now that he's out of traffic, Jarvi set his fastest lap of the race. 1:34.221 for him. 7/10 faster than the Jaguar. 1.6 faster than Ramon Ramirez, sorry. So that is the important thing here. At this rate of knots, Jarvi's going to be right on the back of Ramon, going on to the final lap of the, going into the final corners. It just depends how much Ramon's tyres die. I don't think enough. It just depends how good of a job Ramon's done on fuel saving. He's looking marginal. It could all depend on how quickly Jarvi, if he is able to get past Steve-O, how quickly he can work his way past the Jaguar. So, could still get that battle for the final podium point at the end of the race. You know, the extra 2 points to get for the podium. A reminder of the point scheme here in PSGL. It's the same as the F1 League. 16 for the victory, 12 for second place, 10 for third, 8 for fourth, and then 6 down to 1 for fifth, down towards 7th place, plus a bonus point for the fast lap if you're in the top 10. At the moment, that bonus point is going to Mick Mark, and he's hoping he can hold on to an extra point as well, because Gr.4 is still starting. Well, I say still starting. He's still just, closing in. Not quite close enough. Cause too much of a worry at the moment, but Mick certainly coming under some supreme pressure. Steve-O also coming under some supreme pressure as well from Jarvi. Is the Renault close enough to go for a moving towards turn number 1? He's not afraid to send one on the brakes. He's not afraid to go, a bit late and a bit daring. I think even he knows he's too far back at the moment. I think Gr.4 as well, marginally closer than the Renault was to the back of the Jaguar, but I think still needs to be maybe, just inches closer before moving towards turn 1 becomes a slight possibility. With the better tyres though, that could be something that Mick has to watch out for. His tyres may start dropping off the proverbial cliff. It could be the opportunity the Ferrari needs to get himself in towards 6th place. Further back, Jamie in 8th for the moment. The Sylvia starting to struggle on his tyres. Diogo Moura in 9th. B9 in 10th. We're going to have a Porsche battle for the final points, it looks like, with B9 in 10th. Wedgibo in 11th. GB Dan in 12th place. Izinyan, he's not far back off this in 13th. Neither is Leader Reaper. And as we said, Messi still going around. It's great to see everyone on the lead lap of the race as well. Messi still going around in 15th place, doing himself proud, I think, on his debut. That is safe to say. As you can see, the two Renaults, the car's been the class of the field. Ninja State has been the class of the field at the moment. 2.2 seconds lead, his gap. He knows he can maybe just afford to take things a little bit easier now. But it looks like it will be win number 4 out of 6 races this season and take a big step to possibly securing the championship in 2 weeks' time at Autopolis in the wet conditions. Ramon, said he had to worry about Jarvi. Ramon is dropping like a stone at the moment. Steve-O is also catching up. Steve-O's definitely got to worry about the Argentine driver at the moment. The long way round, tries the Renault in towards turn number 1. That's going to send Steve-O a little bit deep. And I think in the end, the Renault wasn't able to get enough of an overlap. So Jarvi and Steve-O, these two keep battling hard. That's going to be good news for Ramon Ramirez, obviously. But he looks to have just no pace at the moment. I think he's realised, I've got a bit of fuel saving to do in this car. I might come under some serious pressure. So the podium battle, which we were, I'll be honest, I was hyping it up and I wasn't too confident it was going to happen. 3.1 seconds with 2.5 laps looks a lot more of a realistic opportunity. And there's one of any 5 cars that could end up on the podium. Here's Gr.4 in that Ferrari, still challenging Mercedes. I think, to be honest, he'd admit he's not at the pace of Steve-O and Mick. That main battle that they've been in earlier on, but it's still looking handy for Gr.4 though. It's still going to be a nice-ish haul of points. It's going to be, you know, 4 more for him. Not a long way off his best performance, his fantastic performance we saw at Dragon Trail Gardens, where he thought he might have taken the win, as there goes Jarvi down the inside of Steve-O, in towards the hairpin at turn number 13. Who's going to get the better exit? Who's going to get the traction? I think Steve-O should be able to pull ahead, but Jarvi's still staying alongside him, and Steve-O might not be able to cut back into the final corner here. Who is it going to be? Who leads heading onto the start-finish straight? Steve-O all the way around the outside. They're still going side by side, the two of them at the moment. This is fantastic racing. And the Renault slots in behind once more. You can see how much time they're losing, but you can see they're still gaining on the car ahead. 2 to go for these two. Will Ramon hold on to the podium? Will Steve-O hold on to 4th place? Or can Jarvi jump the pair of them? Get what would be for him a 3rd consecutive podium and a 4th in the 6 races so far this season. Further back, it looks as though the battle for 10th place that we mentioned may just be fading. Sorry. Wedgebo looks like he is going to secure that point for tonight. B9 coming under some pressure from Dan here. Down the inside goes for Nissan. That is very late on the brakes, but very nicely stopped from GB Dan 88. So he is now up in towards 11th place. Can he start attacking Wedgebo and potentially get some points? I think, seeing as the Porsche is on with soft tyres, I'm going to go with no. Don't want to be pessimistic, as Jarvi's a lot further alongside this time and a lot earlier on. It was a bit of a lunge down this hairpin last time around, but I think this time Jarvi's going to be able to get it cleanly done on the brakes. Still again, that straight line speed of the Jaguar just proving to be the one at the moment. Jarvi loses out down the inside this time. He's got the overlap. That is the Renault up in towards 4th, and that is Steve-O thinking, can I get a move done on the slipstream here? Can I fight back? They definitely now, if they didn't believe it before, they definitely now know there is a chance of a podium, because Ramon Ramirez is just meters up the road from them. Defending to the inside line comes the Renault, going to the outside. Comes Steve-O, he's got the move done. Can he stay there though on the brakes? Because Jarvi's going to fight back on those medium tyres. Down the inside in towards turn number 1. Comes the Renault driver. He's got the exit. And I think finally Jarvi has got that position. Now 1.1 seconds in one lap against a car who is struggling on fuel load. Is it possible for the Renault driver, or is Ramon Ramirez going to hold on to this position? The two cars in front of him, Ninja Snake and Brownski, coming towards the final corners now to claim a fantastic 1-2 for Renault and for Ninja Snake to extend his championship lead. But is Jarvi going to be able to take this 3rd position? The gap's coming down once more. It's half a second as they head on to the back straight here. I think we're going to end up seeing a move in towards this hairpin, and I don't think there's a lot Ramon is going to be able to do about it. Here comes the Renault driver. Here comes the Argentinian man. He's got the slipstream. Has he got the ability to get it done on the brakes? Has Ramon got the ability to be able to hold off here? He's defending to the inside line. We've not seen many drivers do that at the moment. Which way round is it going to be? Jarvi tries it all the way around the outside. Can he get this move done all the way around the outside? Or is he going to have to yield for now? It's going to be solid Ninja Snake who crosses the line in 1st place to take the victory. Brownski finishing in 2nd place, but the battle rages on for 3rd and 4th. I think Ramon is just about going to hold on with his fuel, with his tyre life. He pulls towards the inside line. Ramon Ramirez takes his 1st podium. Jarvi in 4th, and Mick McMark takes 5th on the line from Steve-O. But I think the Jaguar may be the one that's run out of fuel towards the end there. Steve-O in 6th, Kepler in 7th place. Jamie secures his best result of the season in 8th place, and I think he's delighted, judging by the look of that, just to get towards the finish line. Diogo Mora finishes in 9th place, and it will be Wedgebo who comes home in 10th to secure the final points position. Dan B9, Lee the Reaper is in 9th. Well, I say Lee the Reaper, B9 in that order, because B9's coming under a lot of pressure here. He gets 12th, Lee the Reaper 13th, is in 9th. 14th place, just did not go the way of the BMW today, and Messi Skills will come home in 15th, but it is another, you can say frankly dominant, I think, victory from solid Ninja Snake. Just controlled that race once he took the lead, knew what he needed to do, and knew that he probably didn't have to push crazily hard towards the end of that one, and that is solid Ninja Snake in 1st place. We've had it confirmed from Steve-O. We've had it confirmed he ran out of fuel towards the end of that race. So that is why Steve-O dropped back quite dramatically on that final lap. He finishes in 6th place. Possibly a chance at a podium, really ebbing away from him there, and that has swung the pendulum massively towards Solid Ninja Snake in terms of this championship battle. He is now on 86 points, and I think it is Brownski, in fact, who might have closed his way up into 2nd place on 59. So, yeah, looking very good indeed for Ninja Snake heading into the final race. Best Skills has come across the line as the final finisher, and it is Solid Ninja Snake who claims his 4th win of the season. Yes, a dramatic race, I think, to say the least today. We're now going to see if we can get in any interviews from our top drivers. I think a few of them maybe brewing some penalties and different things that have happened in that race. Let us know in the chat who your driver of the day was, and let us know any questions that you'd like to ask our top 3 drivers. I doubt we're going to get our race winner. Hopefully, though, we should be able to get Brownski. He's just a bit of a regular curve, well, a regular curve into the con box. See whether we have got any of these guys joining us. So a reminder, as you can see it popping up on screen at various points, of what the calendar is going to be like for the rest of the season. We have got Japan coming up in a couple of weeks' time, then Britain, and then United States, and I can confirm that we have got someone in the interview room, so we might as well head and chat to him. It is Brownski. Congratulations on a 2nd place there, going for quite a different strategy to the other Reynolds.
Oh man, that's just taken all of it out of me, to be honest. Like, I was pushing every single lap of that race pretty much, and it was worth it. It was fun, so I'm glad I went for that.
Yeah, certainly did look to be fun. Tell us about, just checking through the chats here. It seems like you had a bit of contact with Yarvi. Do you think without that you might have had a chance of beating Solid Ninja Snake?
Yeah. So I was passing him when I was on the mediums, and it's one of those, you just keep your nose in for no reason, and it's like you're never gonna stay ahead, you're never gonna get ahead or anything. And it's just like, I had to run wide a little bit. It cost us both about 1.5 seconds. And obviously, coming out of the pits, I was, about 3 tenths behind Ninja Snake, I reckon it was. And without that, I reckon I could have defended.
Yeah, you were certainly very close heading out of the pits. You're now, I believe, by my quick maths, 2nd in the championship after that result. Heading into the final 3 races, you've had plenty of podiums this season. You think you've got an opportunity of taking that first victory? And if so, where's going to be your best bet?
Definitely not next week, because that's a wet one. But potentially at Brands Hatch. It's one of those tracks that I don't particularly like, but I go really well around there. And I'm hoping, just being naturally okay at tyre saving, and the Renault being good at tyre saving, I'll be able to do something there. And yeah, if I don't get a win, I don't get a win at the end of the day. Like, I've always said, podiums is what wins championships. Obviously not this season, because Ninja Snake is just a cut above the rest right now, but in general, podiums is what you aim for.
Yeah, certainly. It's been a very consistent season, and I think I've got to agree with you, to be honest. Brands Hatch, track I always seem to do well around, but definitely not one I'd put in my favourites. So congratulations, Brownski, on another podium, and we'll probably see you again soon.
Yeah, potentially, yeah. Yeah, right, thank you.
And next up, we're going to bring a man who, again, tried a one-stop strategy, did it in the Nissan, getting his first podium of the season. It is Ramon Ramirez. Now, tell us, Ramon, just how close were you to running out of fuel at the end? Because it looked like you had to do quite a lot of fuel saving.
Yeah, I did. Can you hear me well, by the way?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, first of all, congratulations to Solid Ninja Snake. That was a massive win. Yeah, fuel saving was tough on my end, especially last 6-7 laps. I didn't expect the fuel to go out so early, but managed to hold it there with Javi at the end. So what can I say? Nissan top 3, not bad.
Yeah, no, we saw you go for the one stop. Brownski went for a bit more of an aggressive strategy on the 2 stop. Were you tempted to do a two-stop and maybe see how quick you could go on a set of the soft tyres, or were you always committed to just making one stop?
I was committed one stop only. Yeah, absolutely. Because I know the Nissan can do 18 laps, 19 without fuel saving. Obviously without the traffic, and without the fighting. So I just went for one stopper. I made enough mistakes in the past with my stop, so I had to play this one safe.
Yeah, it certainly worked out for yourself. You've been in the top 6 every race so far. 3 races left at Autopolis, Brands Hatch and Trail Mountain. How you feeling heading into our final break?
Well, I'm the newcomer, so take it easy, have fun. No big crashes, no big punts. Just enjoy it, really. Let's see next season how it goes.
Yeah, certainly a nice place to be in when you can just relax and not have to think about any championship situations. But congratulations, Ramon, on your first podium of the season. We'll let you head off.
Cheers, guys. Take care. Thank you.
Yeah, so that is pretty much it then for this stream. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. As we've said, there was meant to be Tier 1 tonight, but as that was postponed, that is going to take place next Tuesday, so make sure to join that with Webbo Red 5, hopefully returning for that one, and then we'll both be back for the races after the break week. As you can see, 11th, 18th and 25th, Japan, Britain and Trail Mountain USA to finish off the season. There is also, of course, the PSGL F1 side of things on F1 22, Tier 2 in the PC. PCF2 is on tomorrow. Can Alfie Butcher claim the championship at the penultimate round of the season at Kota, or will he go on to the final round as Pedreño, Max Wiesel and Joost Noordijk try to stop him? That'll be on with myself and Chris Buxton at 8 PM tomorrow. There's also more PC action on Thursday, the PlayStation on Sunday and Monday. Big thanks to Ramon and Brownski for joining us in the commentary box for the interviews. Big thanks to our sponsors as well, Gr.4 and GT Omega. You can check them in the description below. Thanks most importantly to all you guys for watching and interacting in the chat, and we will see you in 2 weeks at Autopolis. Take care of yourselves, everyone, and goodbye.